Yeah, some people it's being weird with right now, so apologies if you aren't receiving my invites and stuff. I am trying.
As a general reminder, go ahead. As a general reminder, participation in game is desired, not required. If you can't make it, it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's just cool to have everybody like in here, but if you can't make it, don't sweat it. It's not a big deal.
We can allow everyone to request to speak. I think that's an option we'll want to turn on.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I click this, I think people should be allowed to request. I don't know where the request option is, though.
Yeah. There's going to be a little bit of figure it out here, but yeah.
Okay, and then we can, it shows it in chat, and then we can click invite to speak, and then they'll be able to speak and ask their questions. Okay, this works well.
Yeah, and then you can turn it off when that's done. Cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're learning a little bit here, guys, so just bear with us. But yeah, this is definitely necessary for groups of this size. So yeah. But no, this is actually freaking awesome. What the fuck is the music? Oh, that's awful. Never mind. Can everybody hear that, or just me?
I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, neither.
Oh, I guess it's just individual to the person. Okay, cool.
Can Momo get an invite, please, before we start?
Say one more time, Mo.
Can I get an invite, please?
1 second.
Yeah.
Sent.
Man, it's so peaceful without 30 people trying to talk all at once.
We should always do this. Maybe we shouldn't allow anyone to speak ever.
Yeah. This should just be every voice channel all the time.
Nah.
Of course not.
I'd miss Duck calling me French.
Captain. Man, just said middle finger emote. Oh, that's good.
Real.
That's good.
When the outside voice is stopped, the inside. Yeah, I don't think Guinea got an invite. You might need one. I don't know if he's in game.
Well, if I invite him, he might fly into the address.
Oh, you're right. He'll find an asteroid in the hangar.
Yeah, right.
I would love to invite him, but I don't actually have him on my friends list.
Oh, he's at work, so he's.
Okay.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining us. Anyone who can't even make it in game, I think it's really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Ground rules. Speaking of fuses, if anybody grabs a fuse on this ship, you will be shot.
Yeah, I stated that earlier.
Yeah. Good. Cool. All right. Well, it seems like most everybody that's here is here.
Yeah.
Is there anybody who's hanging out anywhere waiting to be handled? Yoev is just sitting in a chat by himself. I don't know why.
He does that.
Let me message him.
Fucking hell, over 30 people. That's a turnout. I think this is our biggest one yet.
I think they increase in size every time, and I'm always.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They do. They literally do. Sick.
Yeah, but I expect it to beat like the previous month's one by like 4 people, not by like 10.
Captain, the hangar is my own personal hangar. It shouldn't kick us.
Yes.
It's a temporary hangar, but it's not like it shouldn't.
You don't get kicked out of hangars.
Yeah.
I know it happens sometimes.
It used to be that way. It used to be that way too. But yeah, it only happens now. And if it happens, like the in-game element of this is like secondary to the whole like rest of it. So it's not a big deal. Sick, cool. Alrighty. He's AFK. Okay, cool. That works.
Don't forget to move your mouse so you don't get kicked.
Oh, y'all are on the Idris's briefing room for this one. No, Guinea, we're not. We're in the hangar because the briefing room is not big enough. Which is
I doubted that at first. I was like,
it's an awesome problem to have, Also, the briefing room is just like dark and like cramped, and this is like open and well lit, and it feels better. Plus, I can have a Gladius in the background, and my little Lynx Rover. Like it's cool. It's the whole reason it's in game.
I don't think I've ever had this many DMs in the span of like 4 minutes.
Literally. The whole reason we're doing this in game at all is just cool factor. It's just neat, you know. It's not required to the experience as a whole.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, there's the 10-minute buffer window. So let me pull up the agenda here and. All right. Ark tidied this up a little bit, which is very nice. Or so not Ark. Fucking goddamn it, Akari.
Yeah, what's up?
Akari did it. Nothing.
What did I do? What did I do?
Did you tidy up the? Oh no, that was 3. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Got it. The town hall notes have been organized. It is nice. Okay. First and foremost, this town hall is going to be recorded. We are not going to be, and Akari, you are recording it, right?
I'm already recording.
Sick. This is being recorded, so if you can't stay for the whole thing, it'll all be available later. It is not going to be available publicly on YouTube, just due to the nature of what we're talking about, but it will be unlisted, and there will be a link available inside the Discord. So all of you will be able to access it at any point in the future. Just if you search like the Northern Star YouTube channel, it won't show up. If you don't want yourself to be recorded, you don't need to speak. You can type your messages or whatever. Obviously, not everybody's talking due to the way that we're doing this particular town hall and probably all of them going forward. So it's not as much of an issue as it was before, but you know, just be aware you're being recorded. From there, I guess it's time for Akari to give us a little history lesson.
Oh my god. Okay. So who likes drama, guys? Do we have big drama enjoyers in chat?
Hand emojis, come on.
Come on. We do have a bit of drama to discuss.
Oh my god.
So, first of all, I'm not a great public speaker in general. I did give myself some bullet points. But we just wanted to be generally very transparent with you guys about what was going on this week. And I thought it would be best if I give this, even though I lack the ability to speak publicly, because I'm less emotionally attached to it as some of the other people involved. So that being said, you'll have figured out that we're going to talk about some of the people that we had leave in command this week. It was very unfortunate. Some of us in command kind of saw it on the horizon a while ago, though we didn't know if it would happen or not. Don't say good riddance. Honestly, I want to say everything that I'm going to say as neutrally as possible and as matter of fact as possible. I don't have any ill will towards anyone who's left, though I have reservations about their actions, right? It's been a really hard week for some of us in command, to be honest. It's been very stressful. There was a lot to talk about, a lot to do. But ultimately, we're coming off of that week being extremely hopeful and feeling extremely supported by you guys. Some of you people in the org have been super supportive, helping out as much as you can. It's been wonderful. So that's the basic of it. So let's go with a very short, concise history lesson here. For those who don't know, maybe you guys are new to the org. Maybe you just never got the history speech about how we started. A lot of us initially came from Nova, which is an immense organization with thousands of members, though they're not as active as we are, which ironically. And there was a bit of a disagreement in the management over there, so mostly Cepheus and Archangel decided to just branch out and create their own org. The idea was that they would have co-ownership. They would split the org between combat and industry, though that only held for so long. In the interest of cohesion, we just merged everything together, but they would still have like 50% of the ownership and responsibilities overall, right? Easy enough to understand. They brought us along, all of their friends from Nova, the people that wanted to follow, and for the longest time, like maybe like a year, it was just us, right? We were just chilling around, inviting a few people here and there. There was no push for recruitment or anything. Then at some point, Archangel had to leave for life reasons. And we've told everyone here, right? Life comes first. This is a video game. This is a video game crew. You don't need to be active all the time. And if you need to leave because there's something in your life that's more important than freaking Star Citizen, that's completely fine. We encourage that. I think nobody here wants anyone to force themselves to play and burn out, right? We want you guys to stick around with us for a long time. So it was just generally agreed on that Archangel would spend some time off and just focus on his life and other projects, etc. So good enough. Over time, the org started to grow, however. We got a good push from the boys from the Lunar Wolves, who were looking for a new place and found it in us for a while. We got a lot of crazy good members from that push. Zane brought all of his crew, all of the people who liked him along. And for the longest time, I'll be honest, they were pulling the org in terms of activity. Mostly Raccoon and Zerma were creating FPS ops back when I was honestly even myself taking a short break from the game, right? And it was good. Though eventually we did lose Raccoon because the activity in the rest of the org just wasn't up to what he wanted, which was fine. It's just it ironically came right before we got an explosion in member growth, which is honestly the bulk of when you guys started to join us. So unfortunate timing, but we're still on very good terms, I believe, with Raccoon and his boys. They're very cool people. It's really unfortunate that we're missing out on them, but they had other priorities, and that's completely fine. So now we have the stage with both Cepheus and Archangel, who have 50% of the org to cooperatively manage, right? And we have Zane, who has joined him in command because he brought so many people with him. And that's essentially where problems started to happen. With more people became more management. Seth was essentially holding the fort on his own. Some of us were trying to help him out as much as we could, obviously. But he was the highest member of command that was active. Let me just get a drink of water. Yeah, structure of video went hard. We're gonna have to make a new one now. So yeah, and we like I said, more members, more responsibilities, but still only just Seth to hold the fort. The major problems with Archangel, honestly, were related to his inactivity, but it's less about him being inactive and more about how he responded to being inactive. He would not join us in game, would rarely join us in chats, but he's still expected to run the org as he saw fit, which is fine. But when disagreements came, the biggest problem started happening, which was that Archangel essentially had the keys to the kingdom. He had ownership of the Discord, ownership of the RSI page, and he will use that as leverage to get his way, essentially. And Cepheus only had so much he could say before, the tongue would be on him, and he wouldn't be able to argue more. And it became kind of a bit of a toxic relationship, right? I don't think at any point during that anyone really disliked Ark, but we definitely felt like that was a bit unfair. If you're going away, that's completely fine, but you can't exert ownership over something you have nothing, like you're not building, right? You're not working towards, you're not helping out with. Cepheus was getting, I wouldn't say overwhelmed, but definitely overworked, right? If you joined us, there's like 75% chance Cepheus was the one who went and saw you in the lending channel and processed you, right? He did all this, he did a lot of more things. Meanwhile, Archangel was mostly making documents that we weren't using or wouldn't be using. And that was what he would like to do instead of playing with us, which is, again, it's fine. It's just, it becomes unfortunate when you think you still have ownership of the org. So that was the main issue with Ark. He also had some ideas that we would entertain, though we would try to fight back against. Which the biggest one, honestly, was ironically his wish to put a requirement of activity for mostly sergeants and up, and eventually members, which we thought was ridiculous. This is an alpha game. We definitely, the stance of Northern Star currently is we want our squadrons to be active, but we don't want to require our members individually to be active. And the biggest issue that came up is that we also would like our leadership to be active. I think everyone that makes sense, right? If you're going to be a leader, you do need to interact with the people you're leading. Otherwise, you're just a boss. And a similar issue happened also with Zane on his end. Zane, the big difference with him is that he was always in game. He was always playing. He just wasn't playing with us. I know Waffle tried a lot to ease him into playing with us, right? But he either never responded or didn't feel the need to, which was very unfortunate. So now we have two members at the top who aren't active. They don't post ops, they don't run ops, they don't chat with people except very, very rarely, occasionally. So we did try to just ease them in, right? The objective was never to push them out, but just to try to have them join us and be part of the larger community. I think it's very important for everyone when they're a member of a guild, an org, a corporation in a video game to feel like their leadership plays with them. And I think everyone in command kind of shared that feeling. Well, those were still here, right? At least. So when we tried to kind of push them in, what we received was a lot of pushback. In fact, Archangel would often lash out, which I think is very inappropriate. We're just asking you to play with us, right? You want to be a leader here. We just want you to to be with us, right? We never disliked him. It was never about pushing him out or anything, but we just weren't able to. We were able to kind of convince Zane to try to be a bit more active, but even though it had a positive effect temporarily, I don't feel like it really caught on, and I feel like his attempts appeared ungenuine, and it was like a week ago. So I don't think he really meant to. I think he was active very temporarily, and he knew he would be leaving probably. So, and I don't want to add something too, is that it doesn't mean either of them are bad. It doesn't make them bad people. It just they just didn't meet what we thought was proper leadership. And at no point we were even trying to push them away. The actual breakup. So here's the juicy drama, guys. Here it is. The crash out. It honestly happened out of nowhere. Cepheus was proposing names for promotion to sergeant. There was a slight disagreement about the nature of sergeants, not even who we were promoting. And out of nowhere, Archangel said something I thought was extremely unfair and very out of place, which was to tell Seth that, oh, if you think you run this org, then I'm just going to leave. And that was very unfair to say because functionally, objectively, Cepheus was running the org. They were supposed to have a partnership, a co-ownership, and Cepheus was the only one doing any of the work. So at that point, it was a bit stressful for us because we didn't know if it would be a happy breakup or if it would be a hostile one. And thankfully, it started out really well. Archangel gave Seth full control of the Discord, full control of the RSI page, as well as everything we would have used for marketing, Instagram, YouTube, everything. So that went really well. I think all of us were really sad anyway. Archangel and Zane were friends to us, and we were losing them, and it felt kind of out of nowhere, though it was probably brewing in the background for a while, and we could definitely see the signs. We wish we could have been able to convince them to stay. They are quality players. They are very knowledgeable. Some of them were really close friends. Did I time out in the game? Oh my god, I timed out in the game. Well,
it's okay. It's fine.
All right. So it's not as important as what I'm saying. Right? I'll walk back to the hangar. So yeah. So everything was done peacefully. And what happened after is a bit of the reason why we felt like it was important to really address in this town hall. It's the post-crash. What happened after was honestly a bit unfortunate because we were well ready to be just neutral to orgs, just doing their two things. If they wanted to create their own organization outside of us, it was completely fine. We would be neutral with them and wish them the best. If they couldn't find in Northern Star what they wanted to, it's unfortunate, but if they think they can make it, more power to them. The big issue is that they kind of didn't leave it at that. Zane sent a very unfortunate message in the DMs after. If it wasn't an attempt at creating a wedge between us, it was really close to. It felt very hostile. And we felt like it was kind of a breach of trust. This unfortunately led to both Seth and Zoe to kind of reply to them. And in the emotions of the moment and in the feeling of betrayal, I feel like they were a bit too aggressive in their response. And the unfortunate part of that is that it's now kind of being used by Archangel to try to grab members from Northern Star. He has been messaging some of us, telling us that we're not in good hands. Our efforts are wasted because look at these texts that these two people have sent to Zane. Aren't they aggressive? Aren't they immature? And have you guys ever been betrayed by a friend before? I think anyone would lash out. Anyone would fucking lash out at the things they said. It's normal to be upset at what we thought was just a sad breakup between friends. Now it was getting very hostile. So we did what we could to kind of breach that. There was just it was very short. Right? It was just a couple messages. But then after there was a ceasefire because we didn't want it to spiral out of control, right?
I will add real quick. Sorry.
Go for it, dude.
If anybody has been reached out to by ARC or otherwise the people that have left and told these things, and if you have concerns, I have nothing to hide, and I will DM anybody who asks a full screenshot of all the messages that were exchanged.
Yeah.
If anybody's wondering, I'm not going to like publicize it, but if you're concerned, I have nothing to hide.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing.
Absolutely. It's like we truly want to be transparent with this, truly want to be honest with this, because you're our members, and even like I can picture this, right? You guys, you're in this org, you don't even know who these guys are. Because they've just been so inactive. You've probably never spoke to them, probably never talked to them. And now we're here trying to give you a speech and a fucking conversation about our lives, and like you don't care. That's completely fine. But for those who do care, for those who want to be sure that they're in good hands, that the leadership here is solid, we really want to be transparent. Like Seth said, he's going to share you all the screenshot he has, like everything that happened. It's fine. There's nothing really to hide. And yeah, we just don't want you guys to be maybe kind of tricked into having to leave. Not that I think anyone was, but we did lose some members we genuinely liked. And it's very unfortunate. And it's hard not to wonder if they left because maybe they weren't lied to, but they definitely the truth was a bit skewed, right? So the TLDR in the end, right? Like, yeah, too long, didn't read. I don't even fucking care about you guys. Some members of high leadership that weren't playing or interacting with you guys, well, they left and they made their own org. That's pretty much that. And yeah, that could be a death blow to most orgs or groups of players. But fortunately, I think a lot of us are just emboldened by it, right? It felt like we kind of had not a dead weight, but we definitely had to carry a bit of the stress of having high leadership that wasn't active. And now that they're gone, we both have the maneuverability and the power to do what we need to. Now Seth has complete control over the Discord and RSI page. That means he doesn't have to be afraid of someone telling him, no, I don't want our org to do this, and shut him down. He is always and has always been open to discussions and feedback. Seth has changed his mind on a lot of things, He's been very humble, which is the reasons why, as far as I'm concerned, I am staying. And I followed Seth since Nova because I know that's how he is. And yeah, this has allowed us to basically kind of just grow our leadership now, right? We've trimmed the fat, and now we can promote quality people who we know will do the work. One of those examples, honestly, is Waffle, right? He is now replacing Zane as the Europe Colonel. Waffle is extremely active to a fault. He never fucking sleeps. And he's
That's not my fault.
yeah, I guess. But he's most importantly, he's always there for you guys, right? He's always in voice chats, always ready to help, always ready to provide information. I know he can be abrasive. He is aware of that as well, especially when he's tired, and he never stops yapping. But he's proven himself as being such a loyal and good member of our community. And I'm really happy to have him join me in Colonel so that we can create a very good org. And not create, I think it's unfair to say create. Support. High leadership aren't your boss. We're your support. We're here to ensure that you guys have what you need to have fun in this game on a larger scale. And honestly, we have such a cool group of players in our org now. It's unbelievable. All right, we're more active than orgs who have 3 times our numbers. Every time we join voice chat, we have fun. It doesn't matter if an op it turns out well or not. It doesn't matter if we win or not. We come out of it, and we've had a lot of fun. And I hope that's what we can continue to support in general. I think that's pretty much all I had, boys. So thank you for your time. I'm sorry this had to be said. I had to take fucking minutes out of your lives for this bullshit. But
Entire minutes.
Entire minutes. But now, Waffle and Seth, do you have something you'd like to add before we go to questions?
Yeah, we'll open the floor. Anybody who wants to request to speak, go ahead. You can ask questions, say things. Just keep it tight. If there's no requests within a few moments, we'll move on. Well, sounds like an answer to me.
Sounds good. If you guys have any further questions about this, you're unsure, you saw people leaving and it's making you doubt.
Shader said
requests.
said he wants to speak. You should be able to make a request if you right click. We're still kind of figuring out how this works.
The rest
At the top of your screen
should be either at the top or the bottom of your screen, wherever like the leave button is. It'll be next to that. Don't click the leave button, obviously.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can just.
We should be able to invite him.
We can invite. Yeah.
Invite to speak. Yeah, I clicked it. Let's see if it works.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Shader.
There we go.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Shader.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yes, so a quick one. I've been gaming for over 35 years. I'm an old school kind of person. I keep to myself. I usually play solo in every game, in all the games I play. But this is actually my first time of joining any org in any game whatsoever. So from my perspective, the whole point of me deciding to join is just the kind of people that I just hang around with to play with. You guys are just a cool bunch of people. any kind of issues with some leaders doing whatever. Honestly, I really don't care. That's the truth of it. I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't give a
believe
shit.
it. I believe it.
I'm here to just hang around cool people and just enjoy Star Citizen. That's just why I'm here. And I've met a whole lot of wonderful people here. Dr. Stink, Giddy Pig, all you guys are just amazing. I'll just say that. Man, you guys keep doing what you're doing, man. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, dude.
And you're not even saying anything.
Yeah, shout out to my man D. Daedalus too. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, like Shader said, I think move to audience. There you go. Thank you very much, Shader. Yeah, I think that's the core of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Northern Star isn't its leadership. Northern Star is its members, and I feel like that was one of the big differences between our mindsets and the mindset of the people who left, right? So we're really proud to have you guys. Next, I think Daedalus wanted to speak. I'm going to invite you on stage, bro.
Yep, he's on there.
No, okay.
Anybody else who wants to speak, like throw up a request, it'll be answered in the order in which it's received.
Hey guys, so
Hello.
it's been my first town meeting that I've actually been physically here, but Shader, it's always fun to play with you, man. It's the best. And I'm pretty sure I can speak with everyone that's, aside from the number of people we lost, the biggest hit was probably Flying Spider. He's going to be missed, and I know he has an open invitation to come back, and I hope he does. But
We do too.
I didn't, for the longest time, I didn't even know who Ark was. All I know is Cepheus, Waffle, and Okori were the main ones I interacted with, and I think we're still in very good hands.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, honestly,
Spider is still here as an affiliate, by the way. So if you're hanging out in like public channels and stuff, he actually you can still play together.
I hope he comes up.
So he is able to do that, but he says as an affiliate, so he can't see any of like the member specific stuff. But like public lounge, that's what that's for. You can hang out with affiliates in there.
Wait, to be clear, like anyone who's left because maybe they didn't feel like Northern Star was the place for them. No shade, dude. That's completely fine. Like it's an org that's growing. There's going to be quirks that we have that maybe doesn't fit your playstyle. It's completely fine. Completely fine. That's why we had no ill wills towards them for leaving and creating their own place. It's really what came afterwards that I thought needed to be addressed the most, right? I don't think we would have said half as much if everything had gone well. We're kind of I thought it was important to just kind of watch our backs, right? Make sure that you guys weren't so in the dark that anyone could tell you anything and you'd have to believe it because it was the only information you received. That's it. So are we done with questions for this? Yeah, no more questions.
Speak up now or hold your peace until the next question segment.
Yeah, essentially. But like
it
we
won't
said,
be your last chance.
Our DMs are always open. Seth, like he's open about the sending the screenshots of the DMs. It's all good. If you have any questions about that, we'll be good.
Yeah.
You don't know what to say? Yeah, that's honestly, yeah. We're just making sure. I know most of you.
You don't have to speak. You don't have to speak. Yeah, it's okay.
All right. We can move to the next section. I'm so tired of speaking. People are hearing my voice.
I'll take it for you. I'll take it for you. It's all good. Okay, so now that drama is done, that's the history segment. That's kind of everything we've done up until this point. Just to set the stage, this town hall is intended as the org's time to talk about everything that happened. By and large, after this town hall, I want to move forward. I don't want to look back. I don't want to be worried about what has happened or the people that left. We're pushing forward, and we're going to be better for it. Doesn't mean I won't answer questions. I always will. But like Milton said, we're turning the page and we're moving forward. This is the time to discuss everything that happened so that nobody has any unanswered questions. But like I said, it remains open. It's not like the door is fully shutting. It's just I want to move forward. That said, moving forward, part one. Now that I kind of, I don't have people that are not super active, kind of adding bureaucracy to the process. I am now finally able to really kind of fully realize my vision for Northern Star, which has always kind of been what's happening. Nothing big is changing here. I'm just able to move a little bit more fluidly with the assistance and counsel from Waffle and Akori, among everyone else. Part of these changes are going to be a very slight evolution on command and the expectations for command, just so that all of you are aware of who is supposed to do what. What do the different ranks mean? That has kind of been debated back and forth between us and the group that left. But now, it's kind of, we can really solidify what we're doing and what we want so that we want, we get to do what our vision has been. So as such, command is kind of evolving into two echelons of command. There's no formal divide anywhere, but it's kind of moving into a lower echelon and an upper echelon. The lower part is the sergeants and the lieutenants. Sergeants and lieutenants are primarily sergeants, starting there, that is a notable, reliable member of the community who exemplifies what it means to be a member of Northern Star. They are able to make a squadron. They're able to host their own operations. To be clear, anybody can host an operation, even members, like privates. You just have to talk to a sergeant or higher to get them to post it for you on their behalf. But sergeants can post their own operations. This is just to filter out, bad ideas and make sure there aren't an excessive number of ops with overlapping timetables. Anyway, sergeants are not expected to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect to be promoted to a sergeant. You have to be active, involved, of good character, and express interest. You're not going to be told to promote. You ask for it or talk about it, whatever. You have no expectation of activity as a sergeant. Obviously, activity is good, especially if you want to move up. But you have no expectation. If we promote you to sergeant and then we don't see you for 6 months, when you come back, you're still going to be a sergeant. Nothing will change. Lieutenants are kind of just the evolution of that. They are a good standing sergeant for a period of time. They've done good work, and it's kind of just the next level. What lieutenant at this time really does is it sits you in a position that basically prepares you for a higher level of command, which is where we get to the upper echelon of command, which starts with captain and it goes all the way to the top. Captains are where, right now, captains serve as our division leads. So we've got right now we've only got 2 captains. We're going to be promoting. We have 1 captain. Anyway, captains are division leads right now. So think the lead of Navy, the lead of Air Force, the leader of mining, salvage, whatever. They lead our major divisions. With that comes now an expectation for activity. I am very starkly against putting a number on that. I am not saying you have to do an operation a month. I think that's stupid. I want the standard for captains to be that they are known. They show their face. The member base of Northern Star knows who they are and what they do. At least the majority of them. You need to be known. Obviously, there's provisions for IRL in there. If you get busy, then so be it. But if you kind of go a long period of time as a captain without showing your face, new members really don't know who you are, that means it might be kind of time to step down. That's all it does. colonels are the right hand to myself. They act as my counsel and help me not make dumbass decisions when it comes to leading North Star because, you know, shockingly enough, not every idea I have is a good one. That's just people. So
It's more than you would expect.
the colonels are kind of the filter to help make sure that we are moving in the right direction. And they so far do that job amazingly. Our glorious leader has faults. I didn't say that. Anyway. Colonels are, as of present, they kind of help me manage the org by time zone. So Akori is our United States time zone colonel, and Waffle is for the EU. So basically anything for any of those respective time zones during those hours of the day, if I can't handle it or otherwise I have more important things to deal with, they handle it. They also have that same expectation of activity, which is kind of where, you know, like we talked about, Zane wasn't really meeting that bar. Akori and Waffle definitely do. So that's that's kind of how we're splitting it up. The only actual solid activity requirement, like by number, that we have is for squadrons. If a sergeant or higher decides they want to open a squadron, which is an optional endeavor, that squadron is required to create one operation for every 2 weeks, one op per 14 days. Where I feel that is acceptable is because that is a group effort. Those operations can be ran by any member of the squadron. It is a group effort. I do not want to ever put a numerical activity requirement on an individual. That's just ridiculous. So it's kind of a group effort, and that's it. That's really all that it's evolving. We're not changing the ranks. We're not changing the names. We're not doing anything crazy. Just that, if anything, we're making things more relaxed for sergeants and lieutenants. And we're just making sure that our captains and up are well known to everybody. That's pretty much that. If you have any questions, like write them down or, you know, whatever, we'll do another. You guys get to speak in a moment. But after that, I want to just kind of reinforce what our vision for. We're just talking about ranks and stuff. Is this important? Yeah, I'm going to be moving on to other stuff, man. You know, I want to talk briefly about kind of what the vision for Northern Star is. And if any of you have been looking closely, I have updated kind of our mission statement in the rules, and on the RSI page. And that is, I want Northern Star to be the most welcoming, varied, diverse, and kind of well-rounded organization that there is. No matter who you are, where you're from, what you enjoy, I want you to be able to jump into Northern Star and meet people that you like and have fun. That is my number one goal for Northern Star. Everything else comes second. Fun is always the point. It's a video game.
Can I just put just a little note in that?
Yeah, go ahead.
First goal is fun, but big objective is always to do massive things in Star Citizen, right? Growing to have big bases, space stations and whatnot, doing organized events, having a good structure. That is always a goal, but it's always going to be a bit secondary to having fun. Right?
Yeah. Precisely. Like we have big ambitions here. You know, we want to be big. We want to have the big bases, you know, like everything that Ark said. I want to be commanding a Bengal one day. Very much so. I want to have multiple people commanding Bengals one day. But I'm not going to sacrifice the fun, the community, the culture that we have here in order to do that. That's like things like activity requirements, right? That is not that's not in line with what I want. If we have to achieve those goals at the cost of what I mentioned, it's not worth it. But I think we can do both. So yeah, that's the vision of Northern Star. Do you think, Akori, we should open the floor or just move on? Keep going.
I mean, I think we could. Does anyone have any questions about this? About ranks?
Put it in chat or put up a request if you wanna ask about any of this. Just kind of the minor attitude shift. It's nothing big.
If there's anything in that's like getting a bit harder to understand or just explain, let us know. I was joking earlier, but we will need to create a new structure guide video.
I do want to take a moment and address Milton's kind of statements in there. We hear you, man. The point of kind of the hierarchy is to keep things organized so that the people that have proven to have a sensible mind, a good skill for leadership and understanding the direction of what the group wants to do need to be in the place where they are empowered to make those kinds of decisions. So the hierarchy is necessary, but it's not a I'm better than you hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like when we're in game and we're hanging out as buddies, it's not, ooh, Cepheus is in the chat, everybody better shut up. Like, no. Like I am a member of Northern Star 2. Everybody here is. Be it colonel, sergeant, captain, general, whatever. We are all part of Northern Star. And while some of us, some people need to be in that kind of steering the boat position, it does not mean, there's never going to be a sir, yes, sir. There's never any of that. It's not a lineup and salute because the captain is on deck like that. Unless we're doing it as like a deliberate like RP thing that just for fun, that's never going to be like a serious thing that we actually do.
For reference, that was one of the reasons why we kind of left Nova initially. Some people did want to implement that, and we thought it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and if leadership is something you've done in real life and you're not interested in a video game, the highest you're ever going to move without expressing a want to go further is private first class. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. I'll actually give a little bit more description of the responsibilities of each rank as I go through promotions in a little bit. But basically, private first class comes with no obligations whatsoever. It just denotes that you've been here for a little while, and you know what the deal is. That's really it. And that one's more or less automatic. Everything after that, you have to ask for it. Cool. I think that's been addressed. Anybody who wants to make a request to speak, do so. And if not, we'll talk. I will bore everybody for about 2 minutes on the documents and shit. Otherwise, we'll move on to more forward stuff.
Oh my god, Excel sheets? Look, yeah.
Excel sheets. Guys, you're like spreadsheet citizen, right? No, I'm kidding.
We're all spreaders here.
Okay, so I normally during town halls I plug our documents section. There is a diplomacy division under the categories in the Discord. I've got a few documents in there that are of interest to some people, just for little programs. All of them are optional. You don't have to be involved in any of them, but they're there for people that kind of want a little bit more, get a little bit more in depth. That are things such as our Northern Star ship certifications, which are pilot certs. Some of you may be familiar with that, some of you may not. Basically, as far as operations go in Northern Star, we've got kind of 3 different tiers of operation that we may run. We got casual ops, pretty self-explanatory. Normal ones where a little bit more organization is required just because it might be a larger scale thing. And hardcore, which are rare. And we only do hardcore ops for like stuff that really needs to be done, like really important objectives. Right now in this alpha game, we're really only doing hardcore ops as like a matter of practice. So none of it's actually that serious. This is a video game. For hardcore ops, the ship certifications serve as a measure to ensure that somebody operating a critical ship in an operation knows what they're doing. You don't want to do a 3-hour salvage job just to have someone crash the reclaimer with all of your hard work in it at the very end of the op, right? Something like that. You don't want to be spending an hour loading everybody up on the Idris just to have them crash it into something and blow up, and then there's another hour to get everybody loaded up again. That's why. A lot of people find the certs to be fun to do. I've tried to design them to be such, utilizing my experience as a real-life flight instructor and airline pilot to build these things to be kind of authentic to the real-life thing, but also it's a video game, so you don't have to study for hours because that's stupid. That's all I'm going to say on that. The Treasury. Northern Star has a treasury. It works on a donation and requisition basis. If you have extra money and you feel like donating something, do so. You are never obligated whatsoever. The flip side of that is the more people donate, the more money I have in the treasury, and that is for requisitions. If you need some money for something, ask. If you're a mil short on that ship that you really would like to use in an operation tonight, ask. I can't just give 10 million AUEC to everybody that asks, but the more people that donate, the more I can help out other people. It is funded by the members, for the members. The balance of the treasury is also publicly available upon request. There's a requisitions channel. Let me know if you donate. Let me know if you need a requisition. And if you want to know how much money's in it, just ask. I try to keep it updated, but, you know... It's a lot of work. That's it for that. I'm skipping the operations manual part because that needs a rework since people have left. And then a 3-second explanation on the Northern Star ship checklists, which are also in there. Like I just said, I'm an airline pilot. I like checklists. I think they're fun. I have a really nice crafted PDF in there with like a real life airline inspired checklist for Star Citizen ships. I'm proud of it. It's pretty much just an RP thing. It's not really anything that anybody ever needs to look at. But if you feel like pretending to be a real life pilot in the Star Citizen universe, it'd be a fun little thing to look at. Also, if you're like really new and you have trouble remembering all the things you got to do with your ship, then maybe it'd be a little helpful. Completely. Thank you, Jason.
Rip Idris.
Rip Idris. What? Oh, Rip. Well,
Rip
cool.
Idris.
You called it. You called. No, I'm here. I didn't get timed.
Oh, really?
All right. Well, we're all gonna have a party right here and freak out literally anybody that comes to spawn their ship. I don't like I said, the in-game stuff is kind of the B part of this whole thing, and we're in the later part of the town hall anyway, so just hang out and have fun. We can all go sit at Whammers. I don't care. I assume not, but if anybody has any questions on like the whole documents thingy, feel free to request to speak. Otherwise, we'll move on quickly.
Team Bravo to Hangar H1. Engineering Team Bravo, you are needed in Hangar H1.
Cool. Sweet. All right. Squadrons. We had a couple squadrons leave during the split that happened, and while unfortunate, I'm confident that we can get new and improved squadrons in their place rather quickly. It's going to go along with all of the people that we're announcing for promotions immediately after this. And I don't actually have any direct and immediate squadrons to announce, but keep an eye on the squadron recruitment channel in the Discord. In the very near future, we're going to be opening some new squadrons. Namely, I know for sure soon we have an EU industry-based squadron, primarily to replace Wolf's Pizza Delivery. EU Cargo is coming soon. I also believe we have a certain someone beginning to spin up a new EU-based FPS squadron. There will be more to come. Prism Corp Logistics, our US industry squadron, is just about full. So we'll probably be opening up another one of those very, very soon. Nothing specific to announce today, but soon. Keep an eye out. If you're looking for a squadron and there's not one in there that fills what you want, one, tell us what you want, and two, keep your eyes open. That's all I'm going to say on that. Every squadron that's open is currently recruiting. So there's that. Look at squadron recruitment. It's a nice channel. Of course, some very nice little recruitment banners in there. You can see who to talk to, who to, what they're doing, what time zone they are. There's also that one Navy squadron that might be opening for US.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
There's someone under construction. The last guy that saw it got shot. I don't know what the deal was. Anyway, so there's that. Maybe keep an eye out. Promotions. My favorite part of these town halls is all the promotions that I then get to have everybody's roles fucked up after this. We got a lot of people up for promotions. So, private first class. What's a private first class? A private first class is a member who's been here for kind of the standard with minimal activity is 6 months. If you're active, then that can be accelerated considerably. And all it does is denote that you are a member who's been here for a little bit. You understand the culture. You can help kind of guide brand new members around and show them kind of who's who and what's what, what's where, all that stuff. It comes with no responsibilities, no obligations. But it puts you kind of in that seat for, okay, now you're interested in being command. If you're a private first class, you're kind of in that spot. Don't have to be, strictly speaking, but it's a really good place to be if you want to progress further. So like I said, 6 months, it's kind of automatic. If you're more active than that, then you may get it sooner. So for that, for private first class, we're going to award Dr. Stink Tickler, Kewen, Eidolon, Mace Styles, Yusk, Darth Pocoyo, Frost Daddy, Kamahaze, Mythical Sandwich, and Unpuritan. Not all of those are here, but, congrats.
I'm clapping,
roles,
but my mic isn't picking it up.
Sick. Roles will be updated more or less after the town hall's over. But, yeah, congrats to all of you for PFC. For promotion to sergeant. What is a sergeant? Like I talked, I'm not going to go super long into it, but like I talked before, it's kind of the first level of command. You can post operations. You can form a squadron once there's room. And you are to be kind of looked at as a model member of Northern Star. But the obligations are few and far in between. You're not... dear God, Silver Max, get that out of here. So, yeah, doesn't really come with much obligation. Just, people are distracting me. Stop it. For Sergeant, we are promoting Leduc, Daedalus, Gorilla, Moly, Moon Gone Mad, Scarlet Tails, Zolar Bear, and 3 monkeys. Woo! That is the most promotions to sergeant we have ever had at a single time. And it is all...
the most sergeants that we've had at any one single time, I think.
Yeah, that's the most sergeants that we've ever had at a single time. And it's all because most of the people that are getting promoted are people that joined in the recruitment boom that we had in, I think it was, late March or April? It was late March. From the structure guide, ironically enough. And I'm so freaking impressed by all the people who got promoted. It is awesome freaking work. And I'm so proud of every one of you. And I know that you guys are going to continue to push this org forward and help us grow and continue to expand. Okay, Captain, I heard what you said. You haven't been overlooked. Attend to the next town hall. Anyway, for promotion to lieutenant. Lieutenants are kind of the next evolution of sergeant. still no hard obligations, but it shows that they're a sergeant that has been exceptional. They've been doing really good work, maintained very high activity. They've been running high quality operations, probably even run a squadron. Not required, but it's a good way to show that you're good at leadership. I don't want to yap about that for too long. For promotion to lieutenant, we only got one person this round, but he very much deserves it, and that is one drop. So, congrats to the singular drop.
Congratulations.
The one
A
drop
single
that made it to
congratulation.
lieutenant. No, one congratulation. One congrat.
Juan drop.
Juan drop. For captains.
I can only say one word.
Yeah, right. I say one word. For promotion to captain. Captains are the first member of our high echelon of command. They are, as of present, our division leads running an entire kind of gameplay section of Northern Star. They've got actually some real responsibility on them, helping develop their respective divisions or branches, whatever. It's all art shit. I don't fucking know. But respective gameplay areas. And I've got two people that I'm promoting to captain to help further Northern Star, and I hope to have more in the coming town halls. The first up is flying a spaceship. He is going to be promoted to our captain of industry. So he is going to be the leading authority on everything cargo, mining, salvage, logistics, etc., etc. He also runs Prism Corp Logistics, which is a squadron that does all of those things, and they're presently the largest squadron in Northern Star. But they do have room, so if you're in the US and you like industrial stuff, hit them up. Spaceship has had contributions to Northern Star beyond just being active and running operations in a squadron. He is... he's contributed to the marketing of Northern Star as well as the decision making on the higher scale. I'm very grateful for everything he has done for Northern Star because it is numerous. The second promotion to captain is actually a little bit of a swap, and that is we are promoting Momo Fosho to captain. He is going to be our captain of Air Force. Some of you may know we already have a captain of Air Force, and that is Ruben Gamer. Ruben is going to be set to lieutenant, only because his IRL circumstances keep him exceptionally busy, and his actual time that he has to play is that in which most of us are not online. It is not a reflection on Ruben whatsoever. He's an awesome dude, and as lieutenant, Ruben is going to maintain kind of a second in command position for Air Force, so he will still be an authority on the matter. But Mo is going to be our new captain of Air Force, so any fighter-related thing in Northern Star, talk to Mo. So that's our captains. Colonels, I've already yapped about that. I don't think I need to go over it again. We've only got one promotion to colonel, and it's kind of already happened. Everybody already knows about it, and that's Waffle. So I wanted to kind of save that for this town hall, but the way things went down, I kind of had to pull that trigger a little early. Yeah, it's old news. It's old news. Definitely old news at this point, but it was on the list for this town hall, so whatever.
I'm seeing a bunch of sergeants crying to go back down to PFC. All I'm saying.
Waffle has the power to do that, so be careful. So that's our promotions. For the next announcement, I'm going to announce the formal opening of the Northern Star Sentinels. The Sentinels are, effective today, a group of very skilled individuals in terms of PvP in either FPS or ship v ship, like fighters, combat. They are to be...
Guess who we picked.
No. They are to be Northern Star's mentors to run operations for training and to help raise kind of the average PvP skill for Northern Star. They are not command, and a Sentinel is not a rank. It's also not a squadron. But they will be given the power to create operations, and there'll be kind of open trainings or one-on-one trainings if someone asks for it to help everybody improve their PvP skills. Nobody's required to participate in these trainings. It's not an obligation thing, but it is... I feel that these people have shown exceptional skill, and as well as judgment, teaching ability, a number of factors in addition to just pure skill. And they basically, if you want to become better at PvP, you talk to them. I have 3 members, which are going to be a part of the Sentinels for day 1's opening. And that is going to be Kewen, specializing in fighters, Daedalus, and Duck, specializing in a mix of FPS and as well as ships. So Kewen, Daedalus, and Duck are our 3 opening Sentinels. One of their first assignments, and they're finding this out now, kind of, is their first assignment is going to be to develop a process to actually identify more Sentinels. I want Sentinels.
Can we join?
Captain is on fire today.
Captain is on fire today.
Dude, that was good.
That was really good. Their first assignment is going to be to develop a process to identify and recruit more Sentinels. I would like this group to settle at around 10 people total, but I want it to grow to that number slowly over the coming months to maybe a year. So it's not going to be up to 10 people immediately, but kind of the criteria for that is, again, it's a mixture of skill, judgment, teaching abilities, kind of patience, and feedback reception, and a whole lot of things that will be talked about very at length within the Sentinels. But if you didn't make it for this round, don't worry, there will be more. That's the Sentinels. We're almost done, so I'll just finish, and then we can open up the questions for everybody. Lore updates, RP story stuff. Northern Star has an RP story. Ark and I were co-writers on it. Now that Ark is gone, I'm kind of left at a little bit of a tough spot on how exactly to continue it, of which something that I'm thinking about. There's an RP role. Shut up, Jason. There's an RP role that you can select in the roles channel. If you're interested in it, look at it. If you're not interested, whatever, don't then. It will be continuing. I just need to think about how. But it will be. So, anyways. That's that, and that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about with that. Finally, questions. Anybody and everybody that has questions about anything we've talked about this whole town hall, please request to speak or put it in the text chat.
While we're waiting for people to post questions, could we dedicate just maybe like 5 minutes to getting sergeants who were newly promoted to maybe advertise their upcoming squadrons, perhaps?
Ooh, yes.
You touched on it briefly. But...
Yeah. So I don't actually have any like sheets of precisely what people wanted their squadron to be. I believe so. What is Moon Gone Mad? He's here. I need to sort through my DMs because I've got about 8,000 of them.
Welcome to my world after Corey gave me party lead.
Okay, Moon told me to just announce his like idea on behalf of him because he's like eating and stuff. So basically, anybody that's like coming up for a squadron, they will be invited to speak and they can kind of advertise their squadron. They're not opening effective today, or at least right now, but they'll get to advertise it. So as well as all the existing squadron leaders, including Mo. And one drop, perhaps.
Yeah,
So
one
you
drop.
push your
Sounds good.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, one drop. Go ahead.
Okay, then,
Yeah, one drop's actually got the only like immediate announcement of something that is happening.
Hello.
So go for it, homeboy.
So my squadron will be opening up effectively today once the art is done. It will be it'll be Navy NA, and its main focus is going to be multi-corvette size from 50 to 100 plus size ships working in tandem to achieve objectives. So it will not be a crew. It'll be multiple ships working together to achieve the objectives based on ship-to-ship combat like normal for the Navy, providing oversight to bombing and orbital defense will probably be a big thing once we have bases for the org. And then I have it written down. I don't have it now. Yeah, that was all. Those one of those four things. Two of them kind of go together, but that's kind of it right now. The name of it is Hyperion. Our main ships, once they come out, will be the Paladin and Perseus, and the Nautilus after 1.0. That's it. That's all I got.
Cool, man. So anybody interested in NA Navy is welcome to
the post is
contact
up.
one drop. The post is up, so they're open. We'll get roles and channels made for them very soon if they're not already. So yeah, cool. We'll be doing that. Next up, Daedalus, I see you requested to speak. I want to know, do you have a question, or are you talking about a squadron thingy? While we do that, next up, squad. Okay. Yeah, let's let Daedalus come up here. Keep in mind, everybody with a squadron idea may not get theirs opened immediately. We need to have room for it. But anybody with an idea, talk about it.
So I just
Hello,
need
Daedalus.
to speak to Momo over this because it's just a concept at this point. But I'm hoping to open up a squad soon. But I just want to let you guys be aware. It's going to be Air Force related, same as fighters. But I'll let you guys give us more detail later. I still have to hash it out with Momo.
Yep. So in cases, kind of just overall information, as standard for opening squadrons, we want to avoid having kind of a large number of just shells of squadrons around. We had that problem in Nova. So the general procedure for opening a squadron is that for a given time zone and gameplay area, we want an existing squadron to be at 80% capacity before we open up an additional squadron of that same time zone and type. So in a case like Momo's, where it's US-based fighters, if Daedalus' squadron is US-based fighters, then he can do that once the existing US fighter squadrons are at 80% capacity. That's our metric. Aside from that, if it's either a different time zone or a different genre, all it requires is at least a little bit of interest. So, cool. Anything to add?
I can go over that, Daedalus, for sure.
Anything else to add, Daedalus?
Nope, that's it.
Cool. Scarlet, then.
Send the invite.
Yes, Gorilla,
Okay.
request to speak. We'll get to you.
I did request. I'm here now.
I know, I'm saying for a Gorilla.
Oh, okay. Yes. I as you may know, have been doing quite a few ODST ops, orbital drop shock troop operations lately. You may have been part of that. I may or may not be surprising, plan on doing a squadron about that, or making a squadron about that. It's all kind of still a bit experimental, and whether or not this will be only orbital drop shock troops, or a combination of kind of a fighter escort and the troops, is still to be determined. So in that kind of area, I'm still a bit unsure. The name, also a bit unsure, but for now I'm going with Osprey Squadron, or the Ospreys. And yeah, like kind of going for the bird theme like Akori did. And yes, I will be like happy to, like, if you want to join on that in the future, I'd be happy to receive requests or like messages. Just DM me or whatever. I'm always like available. And yeah, that's about it.
Elliot.
And based on kind of the EU squadrons that we have filled at this time, I think that squadron is that'll be able to be opened very soon. So definitely, once you have like everything in place and you're ready for that, let us know. And anybody who's interested in that, talk to Scarlet, and we could definitely get that. We won't be waiting long for that one. Anything to add, Scarlet?
Something real pretty else, like a shameless plug. Most of the people have not noticed I have a shop. If y'all want something or want to sell something, I am Yargel, and I will buy almost literally anything you have or acquire stuff you want. So just letting y'all know, the Fox Den is always open.
Can you direct them to where the shop is? It's in one of our channels. I don't think everyone knows about it though.
Well, it's an internal contract. I don't know how to do a link to that though.
Right click, copy link. I'll just
What the fuck, Captain? What have you taken today, bro?
Captain's high energy today. Yeah. Oh, that's good shit. Very cool. There you go. The Fox Den.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
Cool.
that's it. I would be done.
All right,
shit.
cool.
Thank you,
Thank you, Scarlet. For anyone who is who is a newly appointed sergeant and has had the go-ahead to create their squadron, you need to just poke me, and I'll work on your banner with you whenever I have some time. Ideally, I'm going to try to do those really quickly because we do have some slots to fill. I do think there's a lot of people who were chopping at the bits to join some of these squadrons. So yeah, we'll try to get that moving pretty fast.
Very good.
Okay. Next, Gorilla wanted to speak. Is he going?
I think next, Kerm requested first.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if that was. I think Kerm wanted to suggest a squadron as well. So I'm gonna invite him. See what he has to say. It better be good, boy.
Keep it brief. Keep it brief. We got a lot of people to talk.
It is brief. So I'm really happy in Raven. Thank you, Corey. So this is more so just a suggestion, just because I see a void. I used to be part of Med Runners, and I feel like at some point it might not be a bad idea to invest in a medical squadron, since with Death of a Spaceman and all that stuff coming in the future, I think at some point with like the advanced insurance systems or Death of a Spaceman, you know, all that stuff, like a medical squadron purely dedicated on search and rescue, especially during the bigger operations, might not be a bad idea, so that the people who need to fight can focus on fighting, and so, you know, so that everybody's focused on the role. But having just somebody focused on medical might not be a bad idea, and I do have input to give to like help with it, but like I am very happy in Raven, so thank you, Corey.
You're welcome.
Awesome. We've had medical squadrons talked about a couple times, and it is something we would love to do. Right now, I think it's kind of. I think the attitude about it right now is just we've had medical squadrons like in Nova, and kind of in an inside the org context. They usually wouldn't really do anything. in they were really lacking for content. Obviously, something like MedRunner is a little different because they contract out their services. We would be, as an internal sense, they'd be pretty bored a lot of the time. Once Death of a Spaceman is more solidified, and stuff like medical, having a dedicated medic is, they'd have a lot more to do. Absolutely. So it's definitely in the plans. I don't think right now, but 100% going forward, it's going to be a necessity. So, but thank you for the suggestion. It's definitely in the plans.
If not in the plans, it's always open. You guys can always do medical gameplay. And if there's a core group that wants to do only that, even if the pickings are slim, I think the door is always open for it. There just needs to be a demand.
If somebody has an idea for a squadron, and it's got, like I said, as long as there's like some interest, right? Like that's kind of my metric, is like if you would have some members, I don't have a problem with that being created. I just don't want a bunch of shell squadrons, that nobody's interested in. But if Kerm, you're like, I want to open a medical squadron, and you've got 10 other people that are like, yeah, dude, I'd join a medical squadron, then yeah, definitely. That goes for any squadron idea. If there's interest, we'll do it. And it doesn't need to be 10 people. I'm just like an amount of interest. Anyway, Gorilla.
I've invited him.
Yeah. Hit the button.
Thinking about it.
Sorry, it's windy, so apologize in that regard.
Fucking windy. Yeah, it's fine.
It's fucking windy. So the concept originally kind of stemmed from the creation of from a bunch of friends, and then I was that kind of changed things around. But overall, the squadron concept behind it is just to acquire lucrative materials for high rarity contracts, quick load contracts, base building for the org as a whole, and for the squadron's personal ambitions. It will be somewhat more oriented around FPS centric industrial kind of gameplay loops. To keep it short, the overall goal of this is to acquire bases, warehouses, outposts, whatnot, and kind of learn that process of base building and blueprint crafting. So we will try and become more oriented around those material gathering and fulfilling the org's requirements for bases and forward observation bases. But as of that, main goal is just to get a space station structured and produced for the org. And if we have the ability, create a Mos Eisley space station, so we can have kind of just a trading hub for the entire universe for pretty much every squad, every org to come and interact with. But above that, we will just try and focus on the gameplay loops currently in game. Knowing base building is not in yet, that will be up to determination and will be integrated properly. That's pretty much the spiel.
Yeah, we so that squadron, I believe, is something we will be looking at opening and activating a little bit closer to when base building's coming out, just so that everybody knows. But once it's kind of like on the horizon, CAG's talking about it. We're seeing some ISCs. They're talking more about it on Star Citizen Live, if that ever comes back in its current form. And like, especially if it goes into like Evocati, like, dude, we're kicking Gorilla into high gear. So that and Spaceship with Prism Corp Logistics, both Gorilla's squadron and Prism Corp Logistics are going to kind of be the backbone of our base building operation at Northern Star. And of course, we'll sped up an EU presence for that as well. There is room for it, but we're not going to spin those up very far ahead of the actual stuff like coming into the game. But once we're getting some really solid information on it, and it looks like it's coming like within a patch or two, then most definitely. Anything else to add, Gorilla?
Yeah, this squad is not going to be taking really any members from space stations. We're going to try and primarily work hand in hand as kind of a sister org, just to keep things running fluidly. And at the current time, since there's the Hathor event, there's executive hangars and contested zones, and there's those areas where we can fulfill those contracts kind of as like an example, just to kind of understand those loops of gameplay. That's what we're going to primarily focus upon now until the creation. So anyone interested, just shoot me a DM and I'd be more than happy to give you kind of a more in-depth explanation. But other than that, no, that's all I've got.
Excellent. Let me... All right. Sorry, I added a thing that I want to talk about once we're done with all the squadron stuff. Jackal asked, where would shipbuilding fall under? I know this is also far away, but what I want to do is build ships for the org when that becomes available. Yeah, like manufacturing, blueprints, all that stuff. That's all kind of going to be a similar like category. But once we get big enough that we could have squadrons that like focus on just manufacturing and like the collection of resources required and blueprints and kind of the way that Northern Star has to grow is that we, you know, kind of squadrons in general have to be a little bit more general as we're smaller. But as we grow and we open up more and more squadrons, the squadrons gameplay can get more specific. So at first it'll be kind of a base building, manufacturing, logistics squadron that does kind of all of it. And in the future, we could have a squadron that just like figures out what building goes where. We could have a squadron that just is responsible for figuring out what needs to be collected and who's going to collect it. We could have a squadron just for like manufacturing the things and making sure that all the little like item printers are actually running at a given time. Just really, as we grow, things will get more and more specific.
So long as there's people who want to do specifically that.
Precisely, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's enough gameplay for a squadron to be centered around it.
Keep in mind, though, that for those who are new and you're not sure about squadrons, they're a way that you can join people who enjoy doing the same things you do. It doesn't mean that in your day-to-day, you're confined to that gameplay, right? If I'm in, I run the Ravens, right, and we do mechanize and FPS, that doesn't mean I can never fly a ship. Doesn't mean I can never do industry. It means that, you know, when I want to do FPS with a group, those are the boys I call.
Yeah. Have a pleasant stay. Most definitely, yeah. The squadron's idea, since I guess there may be a little bit of confusion about it, is that, you know, yeah, it's a group focused on a specific task or gameplay area, but really at its core, it's a group of like-minded players to play together. You're in the same time zone, you like the same thing, you'll play together frequently, and you can become a really tight-knit group. It's also a place for the leader of that squadron, Sergeant or up, to kind of demonstrate their leadership abilities, as well as kind of run their own little mini microcosm of players. And they can have their own uniforms, they can have their own procedures, they can have activity requirements if they want to, but obviously it's only above what Northern Star says, but we don't say much, so kind of it's a place for squadron leaders to do what they want within the confines of what we've built as a larger org. So obviously if they do things that players don't like, then they won't have any members, and you know, a squadron without members is not much of a squadron, nor will it be around for very long. Yeah, so yeah. Who else we got? I will speak. Moon, do you want to speak about your squadron, or would you like me to do it for you? Because you sent me the notes earlier on what it is.
No, I can invite him to speak.
He just said he'd be eating. All right. Hello, Moon.
I didn't even click to join, but okay.
2955 marks the centennial. Voluntold.
Yeah, pretty much. My squad probably won't open until later on, because the only one that's really in-game that works is the hauling part.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
And that would just be with any cargo. But then in the future, there'll be more like the resupply, so refueling and delivering different munitions and stuff to bigger ships as they run out or need more. you want to have a bit of base building as well. And then after 1.0, when like ships like Endeavour comes out, it'll be like living off the ship as well, sort of gameplay. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So really, my understanding is that you're looking to open kind of I guess a replacement EU Industrial Squadron to Pizza Delivery.
Yeah.
So I think we should, if you want to, we can get that done sooner rather than later, just so that EU Industrial players have a squadron to join.
Yeah, that's fun.
That is actually active and doing stuff. So no shade intended, but so yeah, cool. Obviously, details on all this stuff is pending. If anybody has questions, feel free to ask the person involved. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming. Who else? All right, I think that's all of the new people that are going to be opening squadrons in the near future. If I haven't covered you, please speak up. That said, we are going to now open up existing squad leaders the opportunity to advertise their squadrons. So, because he asked earlier, Mo, tell us what your squad is and what you do.
Yo, it's Momo. Yeah, so we're the Rat Bastard Defense Force. We are the current only Air Force squadron, focusing basically on light and medium fighters, heavy fighters too. Really anything that's a fighter. Our goal is pretty general. There's no specific focus, but we do everything from escorting larger ships, providing defense to ground units, and clearing the skies, clearing landing points for drop ships or troops. Getting kind of more into bombing runs as well. Getting more versatile in that. But anything that has to do with defense of any asset we have in the org is our goal, and making sure that our players can carry out operations safely, whether it be from NPCs or other players. We've definitely gotten, when the Hathor dropped, we definitely got some taste of that, and that was a lot of fun, actually. Sidebar, I just want to say thanks to the Rat Bastards, especially Daedalus and Guinea, who have been super active. Daedalus really taking a charge in a lot of things, so I super appreciate everybody there. Sorry, it's been harder for me to get online. When I have been able to get online, it's been when no one else is on, just because of my job. I work in the service industry, and I literally do everything at the restaurant. I manage some bit, I do all of our bar stuff, I cook, I manage our social medias as well. So it's been a little bit harder, but I've definitely kicked the owner into high gear into getting more help on board so that I have more free time. So hopefully in the coming weeks, I'll be opening up my schedule a little bit more and be able to play a lot more and get more structured ops going. So just want to say I appreciate the guys. If you're interested in flying with us, join the Rat Bastards and let us know if you have any questions.
Cool. Spaceship, you're in here. Tell us about Prism Corp.
Okay, I'm here. Yeah, so Prism Corp, we basically, right now, we're doing a lot of cargo and a lot of salvage. We also do the other stuff too, like mining and whatnot. Pretty much every Friday night, Doc's starting to do Sundays as well. It's just real chill time, laid back. No, killing people unless somebody tries to run up on us. Then we have to stand our ground a little bit, but otherwise, it's just a really chill time, and if you need a break, come hang out with us.
Sweet. I like it. Corey.
Guys, I don't want to put shade on any other squadrons, all right? I just want to say, patch 4.2 is for anyone who would like to join Ravens, all right? It's our perfect patch. We're into FPS. We're into group content. We're into mechas and generally mechanized content. And guess what's coming to the next update, right? We're gonna be hunting giant ass worms in the rain with our mechas. It's gonna be crazy. So if you want to join us, we've got a crazy good crew of quality players. They're all super good. They're all really active. So if you want to join us, just give me a ping and I'll be happy to add you to the Ravens.
Sweet.
Of course, been waiting for this day for so long.
For those who don't know, from the first town hall, I made a joke about creating a squadron just for mechas, and it's crazy that a year and a half to 2 years later, we're about to have the patch where it's real.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Waffle, are you like dead, or do you want to talk about Apophis?
I'm here.
Right.
So, hello. I run Apophis. We was the only Navy squad until like an hour ago. But One Drop was in my ranks. He's proved himself beyond a doubt, and he's also helped a lot of my guys with some fighter training. But our main focus, unlike the squad that he's going to be making, we are a ship crew. So we are based out of an RSI Polaris currently. There are some changes that are going to be affecting my squad soon, which is a couple of different possibilities that I will go into if people want to DM me. But the main thing that we focus on is basically joint operations with any other squad who wants them. We base ourselves out of the biggest and the best ships in the verse. We basically do hunt and kill operations, so if there is anything to kill, like this big ass worm that Corey mentioned, he's going to be faffing about with the stupid ass little mechs. We're just going to poke the nose of the Idris through the storm and slap it with a railgun. Because, yeah, you can do that, by the way. Yeah, you too, Corey, you too. No, but we are the EU equivalent to One Drop Squad for Navy, or vice versa. He's the NA equivalent to us. So if you are on the EU side and you're interested in everything ship combat, maybe something a little bit more multi-crew than something like Mo's squad, then please do hit us up. We're always happy to have more people. We are one of the bigger squads in the server, and we also have some of the biggest turnouts, which I thank everybody for, because I get a lot of people that aren't in the squad showing up to my ops. So thanks to everyone here. You're all awesome. I'm also going on over 40 hours no sleep, just a heads up.
Please get some sleep. That's a lot of time with no sleep, dude.
Nah, I can go for a few more hours.
Sorry, I'm adjusting roles for everybody. I'm making the promotions effective.
Were we missing someone else? We've covered Rat Bastard, Apophis, Raven, Prism Corp. That's pretty much that. That's all of our squadron boys.
That's everybody.
They also to do a quick clear up, by the way. Some operations will be limited to those squadrons, but most operations aren't. Everyone's welcome to join any operations, be it for the Ravens or Apophis or anything. If there's an operation you're like physically able to click the button to join, it means you're welcome. That can be a great way for you guys to scout out what you want to join, the type of gameplay you want to try out, and the crew that you fit the best with. Right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Sick. So one more thing I'll say, and then we'll accept questions for another few minutes, and then we'll wrap up. I want to make a couple updates, or just a quick update on the High Citizen role that we've had here for a while. And this is not an announcement of an immediate change. It's more just I'm opening the topic to feedback. I think the High Citizen role, while having served a purpose, with the new direction that we kind of want to look at activity with, being that it's really not required until you get to the high echelon of command. High Citizen, which has always been intended to kind of signify a lesser activity level, has kind of become redundant. So I think what I'm considering doing, and again, this is open for feedback, not an immediate change. What I'm considering doing is making it so that High Citizen is a role that you can select for yourself under the roles channel. That will be kind of underneath your private or private first class rank, and or whatever rank you are, and that way you can kind of toggle it on and off as your real life, allows you greater and lesser activity. That way you don't have to ask anybody for it. The topic of, I know that a lot of people like the pretty blue color that the High Citizen role is. I'm not sure exactly what to do about that, so that's part of why I'm like opening this to discussion instead of just doing it. So feel free to just mention that. Give blue to Sergeant. No.
Yeah, give blue to whatever Zoe gets.
She keeps on trying to manipulate her way to colors. Can she get stinky again?
No.
I'll give her a little bit more time with special level Snowflake. So we'll do that. But yeah, totally, Jackal. But yeah, I'm taking feedback from that. Feel free to talk about that as much as you want. I have not made a concrete decision, but what I want to do is I just want to make it to where someone can hit that toggle switch just to say, hey, I'm not going to be around that much, but it doesn't really do anything. But we've since the part of what prompted me to do this is, since High Citizen's creation, there have been permission issues with private and versus High Citizen, where High Citizen just can't do things that they should be able to. I tried to fix this like a long time ago, and I've never been able to nail down exactly what the problem is. And yeah, Genesis has been finding, among other people, have been finding things that High Citizens can't do, and I don't know why. It's become incredibly frustrating to track down. So I'm at the point where I'm like, fuck it, let's just make it a secondary thing that you can control. Obviously, High Citizen should be kind of mutually exclusive with Captain and up. If you're having to hit that toggle switch as a Captain, you should probably just step down instead. But I also don't know how to make it to where Captains and up can't hit that toggle switch. So it's going to just kind of be a thing of hey, if you're going to hit that button, step down first. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like that would be probably better. But if you guys think that's stupid and just leave it how it is, that's fine. I want to know what you guys think. That's why I'm bringing it up here. So I've got. Yeah, I'm opening to questions now. Kerm, I saw raised. I'm. That's all of our announcements. Any questions anybody has on anything, ask.
If I could go before we open it
Do
up.
it.
Sure. I did want to ask about SRS because we have had a lot of problems about the comms during bigger operations, like what happened on Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Do you want me to go over it briefly?
No, I'll do it. I'm reading.
Okay.
So SRS Radio, for those who are not familiar, is Simple Radio Standalone. It is an application that was developed for DCS, Digital Combat Simulator, a flight sim. For those who don't know, I assume most of you do, but someone may not. It is a radio communications app that kind of could layer on top of Discord for us. It's a separate app, but we'd use it in conjunction. And it would primarily be used amongst command in larger operations so that we can split up into different Discord like voice chats, keep the number low. But then command at the higher level can communicate in between each other. We're looking at developing a guide to downloading it as it applies to Star Citizen, because most of the guides that exist are in reference to DCS. I don't really want to utilize it where it's like only command can use it. I think there's some really cool cases where we could have like everybody utilize SRS, but we're not going to require anybody to have it. Except like below the command level. If you're command and you want to command a large operation, it's probably going to become required to have. But like Monkey said, ATC is a good example. Like doing an ATC Idris op with SRS radio would be like freaking sick.
There's a video of people doing a Gladius sortie out of a video using SRS, and it was fucking cool.
Yeah. So we are looking into doing stuff like that. Like Jackal just said, it'll help with fleet operations in the future, because if we've got 50 or 100 people in an op, Discord just doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
Unless everybody is like super duper disciplined with voice comms, which just the majority of people are not, and that's fine. And I would rather just implement this solution than try to like yell at everybody all the time. So
I do want to add, mainly because I've got experience with this with my external ops, where I've been running naval security for other organizations, and they have been using it. That's how I was introduced to it. The main reason that I want to give this a go is because it seems very effective for those kind of operations where we are in PvP. There's major risks of conflict, shit going bad, very, very bad, or very, very quickly, should I say. So I have some practical experience with it, and this isn't we're gonna use SRS and we're not gonna use anything else, or we're gonna use SRS this way. We really are putting it into an open trial period, where if it works for us, we will continue using it and adapting so it works the best. If it doesn't work for us, we'll find some other solution.
Yeah, ultimately we'll just be trying to clear up communication. If it's not SRS, it's going to be having push to talk in some of the operations channels or something else of that nature. Either way, it's really just to make it a fun experience for everyone and not just the cacophony of voice chat, right?
Yeah, I think I timed out of the game. That's funny. Anyway,
I will add just kind of piggybacking off of that if I can, just for a quick second. While we do have comms, while it is a game, we're here to have fun. Like if we're doing any type of structured op, in the meantime, while we're developing these new processes, let's just try our best as a group to keep the comms focused on the op, because sometimes things get lost. And also, let's just respect everybody's like individual voice channels. Like if you're joining somebody that's already got a voice channel going on, let's just make sure we're not being disruptive and throwing that channel that you're joining into disarray. Like let's just be respectful of one another when we do these types of things so that we can continue to have fun and nobody gets annoyed or pissed off at one another.
Yeah. I'm going to address, there's a couple questions I want to address in the chat. Genesis being in agreement with SRS not being required, people just randomly get dropped, and SRS servers, like totally. That's why we're doing this as kind of a trial period. And in general, I'm not going to request I'm not going to make anybody download any external program to Star Citizen aside from Discord. Discord and Star Citizen are all that's going to be required at kind of the base member layer. And anything more than that will be kind of either optional or if you're command and we need it. But this is a trial period for SRS. If it works, great. We'll continue to expand it. If it doesn't work, we'll find something else. That's really it. I do know that Kerm, you've requested to talk, and we'll get you.
It was just
okay. Captains, will there be a squad based on mercenary work and headhunting in the future? Definitely. I'm not aware of any like present plans for one, but most certainly. Silvermax push to talk in larger operations. Yeah, that's something that we're kind of considering in conjunction with SRS Radio. I've always kind of been hesitant with unilaterally putting push to talk just because it's another button to hit, and I wouldn't want to miss a communication from somebody because they missed the button or forgot to hit it because they forgot that they're on push to talk. But there are definitely scenarios in which push to talk is very helpful, and we will. It's definitely in the cards, and it's one of the things we're going to be investigating. Kind of a lot of the near future is going to be testing these different methods at solving the comms issue, and whatever works best is what we're going to stick with. So we're trying different things at this point. We're now finally at the point as an org where this is becoming an issue, and it hasn't really been an issue before because we weren't big enough to have it. But now that we have it, we got to solve it, and that's like it's a good problem to have. So we're working on it.
All right, I think Kerm has waited for a bit.
Yes, Kerm, please. Sorry, thank you for your patience.
No worries. Wait, what was it again? Oh yeah, right. So is there any plan already in place for the next town hall, or is that stuff still up into air? Up in air.
I generally kind of moving forward with this kind of new era of Northern Star, considering everything that's happened recently. The process that I'm developing for these town halls is approximately a week or two ahead of a town hall. I want to have a command meeting with every member of command to discuss topics of importance and all of that stuff. And that's kind of where we'll develop our itinerary for the upcoming town hall. That's where we'll discuss who should be promoted, all of that stuff. And that's kind of where we'll develop the plan, where I don't really want to develop it any further than that in the future, because things change. Things change quickly.
Gotcha.
You man. Did you have any other questions?
Nope. Bye now, guys.
All right, man. Floor is open for anybody with any questions about anything. Please raise your hand. Or text chat's fine too. I don't know. But yeah. And as soon as we are out of people asking questions, we'll wrap it up here. It's been exactly 2 hours. I'm actually kind of shocked at how well that's worked out. Definitely our longest town hall to date. But
how long did you say that was?
It's been exactly 2 hours, which is what I scheduled it for in the op.
Honestly, I expected it to be longer. I'm happy it fucking wasn't, because I'm just about on the edge, but still.
Yeah. Dude, just go to bed. Fucking go to bed, bro.
No, I want to stay till the end.
Moon has asked, would there be any emergency town hall meetings if CIG announced something last minute that they're adding in the next patch? If it is something like that changes how we operate as an org, sure. But I can't think of many things aside from like org features that would do that, and those we're likely to know about a good amount ahead of time.
If they add something like base building and we know maybe a week or two in advance, which, let's be honest, I don't think that's going to happen, right? But something of that nature, where we would need to speak with everyone, then yeah, like Seth said, I think it would make sense. Though it might be more of a meeting for the interested rather than a global thing for everyone in the org that they're encouraged to join, right?
I have a feeling that just kind of with the pace that Star Citizen has been developing, anything that CIG adds that like is going to affect an org at the org level, like base building, org features, etc., we're gonna probably know about that like at least a couple months in advance before it actually makes it to live, because they're not gonna add base building or org features as like a last minute, hey, we slipped it in 4.2. We're going to get some ISCs about it. They're going to be talking about it. It'll be leaked all over the place in Evocati. We'll have at least probably a month or two to talk about that kind of thing, and then it could just fit into the regular town hall. But if it ever did happen, you know, or in the future if there's ever anything that requires like an emergency meeting, like yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I like being able to do these things where people can kind of plan for them in advance by a couple weeks, and that allows the most people to attend and ensures we have a well thought out meeting. But yeah.
Yeah, and if you're doing your tasks and you stumble upon a body on the ground, then definitely press the button emergency meeting right now. I'm gonna find this sussy backer.
If you see a Corey vent, please report it to Waffle. What if we see Waffle vent? Then you would talk to a Corey.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see me hop in a vent, dude, I'm going to bed.
He's gonna go sleep in the vent. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. You ain't gonna see me again, bro.
What if they both vent? Well, then you're just fucked, man. That's that's kind of it, man. All right, seriously though.
Was bigger.
Yeah, right. Any other questions that anybody has? Like, now's your time. We're gonna wrap it up here soon. We're all just talking about Among Us now.
Honestly, like, a huge thanks to everyone.
Seriously. Thank you for being patient with us. I know this was long.
Yeah, I was anxious at the start of the meeting, but like we're gonna be good. The future's really bright for Northern Star.
Most definitely, man. This is exciting shit happening, and we've got we've got a very bright future as an org. We are nearly an order of magnitude more active as a function of like percentage of active members compared to our total member base than like our contemporary like larger orgs. And we pulled 35 people together initially for a town hall. Like, that's a lot of people. And that's like we had to we this is the first time we've used the stage thing because we've needed to. Like, that's incredible. You know, when I started Northern Star, there was when me and my buddy started Northern Star, there was a decent chance that we were aware of that it could flop, and it hasn't. And I think we're at the point where we've got a solid member base, a very, very solid member base, and a very, very solid command. And with that, I'm very, very confident that we are going to succeed, and we're going to grow, and we're going to prosper.
Yeah.
And most importantly, we're going to have fun. And I want to keep this culture that we have of fun, humor, being welcoming and accepting to like literally everybody. That's the shit that's important to me. Like, you know, there's a lot of ways to get members. There's a lot of ways to get a lot of members quickly, but they're not the members that I want. You know, I want all of you and people like all of you. You guys are Northern Star, and I want Northern Star to grow, and I want to keep our identity while we do it.
Yeah.
So, thank you all.
One thing.
Very much.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, like one thing. Quickly, you're talking about the growth, marketing, right? A lot of people have been shooting video ideas. I super appreciate it. There's some of them are great ideas, but honestly, if you shoot a video idea in my way, I'm gonna need some help to get it done, because it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy to get those done. So I want to help you guys create the content that you think might bring more people to the org, but like definitely like give me a hand. Tell me, okay, I'm available. I've scouted a location. I know where to go. I've got the people, and I'll come over. I'll be cameraman, and I'll edit everything. I just can't think of everything that I think of and you guys think of on my own. All right. So keep the ideas coming. I might even make a document for it to list them all. But yeah, that's it. You guys are brilliant, by the way. A lot of the ideas have been super cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Like awesome shit. I'm like, you guys have no clue how happy all this makes me. I'm very proud of everybody. and I'm excited to see where we are in a year, where we are in 2 years, where we are whenever I have completely gray hair and Star Citizen is 1.0. And which will probably happen at about the same time because I'm already graying, but whatever.
I will probably still be tired.
Yeah. Maybe not even have slept yet. Who knows? Yeah. So cool. Well, unless anybody has any last minute questions, we are going to wrap up here. Thank you all for joining. We've taken up enough of your time. And all of those that got promotions, congratulations. And welcome to the new chapter of Northern Star, where we are going to continue to grow and to turn into everything that we have the potential to be.
Thanks, guys. I wish I could sound more enthusiastic.
He's dying. He's dying over here. But